and I'm looking for them to respond for more on something, right? So it's a pointer. Or I could do an original email to respond for more. This is the basic formula. Let's look at it on the screen again. So my original email clicks them off to go look at that actual tangible content. On that tangible content, there is a respond for more. Okay, right? And I'll show you in a minute what that looks like. Or I can do an original email that buried within it is a respond for more message. What's a respond for more message? Find out the value of your house. Simple as that. Are you interested in lowering your payments? Are you interested in buying a new home? Those are a respond to more action. Or is what in the content itself is what's called clickbait, right? Creating something of interest that they are interested in looking at. Okay? I'm going to show you how all those pieces actually play out here in just a minute so you see what they look like. All right. We'll come back to this in a minute. So let's look at what this looks like in real life, shall we? I'm going to open up a new incognito window. We're going to start from your data, right? Let's go to Google, shall we? Make sure you guys can see everything. Thanks. All right. Let's start directly with Google, shall we? First thing we want to do is get the names of homeowners, right? So all you have to do is type in email addresses homeowner. Simple as I can make it. There are a couple of different companies that do it. We had this big, huge debate because I did have people on Monday. ListSource is not bad. eData is not bad. What I'm looking for are email lists of homeowners. Okay. Let me turn this off of incognito. Get a regular email list. All right. We were using e-marketing. I'm using e-marketing for my clients and for myself. Okay. E-marketing solution seems to be the best, fairly cost effective. What you're looking at spending approximately in this process to create your list, scrub your list, and set up your email address, you're looking at about $500. Got it? That's the price you should have in your head. You want to get between 10 and 20,000 email addresses. Okay, I'm looking between 10 and 20,000 email addresses. All right, so I want to target an email list. I don't really care what the targets are. I just want everybody in a zip code. Got it? So let's do a search. In California. Oh, sorry, wrong state. California. I was using Covina as the example last. Somebody recently asked for, where's my client? They want Beverly Hills. I'm interested to see that. I'm going to have to put in zip codes. California. And I'm going to do Covina. Right? And I'm going to get 2 counts. Watch closely on here. I'm going to show you one of my best tricks, okay? You wouldn't. It doesn't work that way, Richard. You are not going to be able to target specific houses. You're not going to be able to target... They claim you can target all this stuff. I don't agree with that. I just don't. I think it's just email addresses and scrub. So I want my Covina count. There's 22,000. I might, if this is accurate, because these claim to be opt-in with this company. I want them at least be the age of 21. I prefer 31. So more likely. There you go. There's 5,000 right there. And I'm going to grab all the local businesses in Covina. You want at least 10,000 emails, at least. Okay, you're shooting between 10 and 20, but the minimum of what I'll get involved with is between 10 and 20. 10 is the perfect minimum. You'll actually get a result there. And I want Covina. So I'm going to buy these 4,395 names. And then I will also buy for 79 bucks the other 5,000 businesses. So I'm hovering right around 10,000 names. Are there any questions about obtaining email lists? There are multiple ones on the web. Don't get frustrated. This happens a lot. I'm an email marketing guy. Even with real estate agents. Everybody knows who you are as real estate agents, and I can buy those lists. But I can't feed in 1 million email addresses into any service and expect to get a result. I can create it, I can scrub it, I can feed it content. Okay, and I'll show you that in a minute. So now I got my 10,000 addresses. Are there any questions on obtaining data right here? Keep it as simple as possible. So now I have 10,000 names in the city of Covina. I can now go to work. Why do I want businesses? Good question, Donald. All right, so I've got consumers, right? There's 5,000 of them. They're at least above the age of 31. These are buyers and sellers. That is my niche that is my atypical niche market, right? And for those that don't know Covina, Covina is a mid to lower sized city. So double this size for something like LA. That's why I'm saying be prepared to spend upwards of $500 creating your list, a good list. Or if you're David Bartels listening to this call, you're going to spend $1,000 and get a really qualified scrubbed down list as much as possible. Okay? So I've already created my list. Why do I want to include the businesses? These are in the city, aren't they, Donald? They're going to be businesses, 4,899 businesses, which I find hard to believe for Covina. I don't think there's 5,000 businesses in Covina. However, here's what I know. Business owners, or at least business email addresses, are people within that city. So again, it's branding. Everything is about word of mouth. What I'm doing is creating a Donald Ross brand, or a Richard Galloway brand, or a David Bartels brand, or a Home Loan Advocates brand, or a lee-honish brand. No, they won't be. Businesses are totally separate. Why are you confused by this? Businesses are just businesses and people who are in the city. Consumers, I want 31 plus. You can even thin this down depending on the size of the list. But if these are opt-ins, people who are 31 plus are going to be in a position to live somewhere that isn't at home with their parents. That's my opinion. Millennials this is just a matrix, right? So millennials, people between the ages of 20 and 35, I think, if I'm correct, David, tend to stay at home longer. They stay at home till the very last minute, right? My cutoff in my mind is somewhere around 31 to 35. Just take 31 as the cutoff point. 31 forward, you're looking for a place to live, a place to rent, a place to buy, a place to sell. That is when you get serious about buying, renting, selling, whatever. They are your crowd. So Donald, if I'm doing, say, Irvine, right, I want people who are at least probably 31, 35, and I want to be very target specific with them. And I also want all the businesses in Irvine as well, because I want to brand Donald Ross in Irvine. Okay? This is a first to the game. I'm just telling you this based on the emails that I've seen. Let me show you what most people send. This to me is mind-blowing. Let me get it up on the screen. I don't think you need to see all of my emails. Not Pastor Fred's. Most agents, if you have not seen what they send, send crap. I mean, with all due respect, it's just crap. Here's what they look like. This is what most real estate people send out, thinking they will get business from sending this out. They send out these advisor things. To me are, here we go. Let me zoom it out as far as possible so you can see it. There you go. That's it. This is the common one. Or the other one is these properties are for sale in your area, right? They sign you up for a zip code and send you a mailer, or they do this branded newsletter based on the season or St. Patrick's Day or whatever. And it tells me all about December. I actually know Bill, and that's why I'm using this email. It just amuses me, right? I don't get the point of this. I really don't. I really don't. Usually these are some kind of regurgitated NAR article that they think homeowners want to know about. But do you see anywhere on this email a click call to action that made them interested? Like, click here if you want to know more information about how to recock or how to create more value in your home. There's no call to action on this email. And my friend Bill paid for this. Okay, this is a paid service. Okay, so that he could have his name next to this really awful newsletter or whatever it is, article. This is what I mean. If you create email content, it's got to have an action for me. You don't want me to not be able to take an action. This is the number one mistake of all the email marketing that comes into my mailbox. Okay, this right here. And I'm telling you that these things right here aren't going to be enough to make me want to click. They're not. They're not. This isn't effective. It isn't effective email marketing. It just doesn't really work for me all that well. I'll take a few questions. Have I had success with this? Yes. They send junk newsletters. Yes, I agree, Pete. So when you do this, you can dominate a city. It is value-driven content. You have to create something of value, and I'm going to show you what actually works in a minute. What is your preferred redirected route? Blog, lead capture page. I don't want a lead capture page. That's an overkill, right? So let's talk about this email for a second, right? I've now got an email list. Let's say that I was actually going to send this piece out as a marketing piece, right, Pete? Right in the middle of this article, there would be an ad, and it wouldn't be me on the side. There would either be me as there would be an ad on the side or an ad within the email. That ad would be for finding out the value of your home. Doesn't that make it a lead capture page automatically, Pete? David? If they click on that link and they automatically say, hey, I want to find out the value of my home, and it redirects them immediately to a form to fill out, isn't that a lead capture?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. I'm not losing my mind. So this, what you're looking at is the classic, how do I say this respectfully? This is the crap that's being sold to agents at the expos. Oh, this creates, and here's the sales pitch. You guys ready? The sales pitch on this is, this retains your herd. This retains your followers. They will engage and they love this. There was a company 2 years ago that promised to do exactly what I'm talking about right now. And all they did was send out a newsletter. And they were talking about branding and client retention. They are no longer in business. You want to know why? I'm going to know the secret of what every single one of you want to know. Ready, Pete? Same as you and same as David. Who looked at the email and who wants to sell their house? Same as David. That's it. That's the bottom line. Who is it? Who clicked it? Who wants to buy a house? You don't, all of you, with all due respect, none of you give two craps about retaining your clients. You don't. You don't. If you're listening to this or you're watching this as a replay, I say it with all of the respect in the world. I am an email marketing guy. I have obsessed over it. Okay? I have read every book on the topic over the last 5 years. I've read the psychology behind it. Diana gave me a hard time the other day about this. Like email, like I'm obsessed with understanding emails, okay? And why people take action and how people take action. And I'm going to tell you what people really want. They want the National Enquirer. That's it. They want to know the most horrifying news possible. Don't believe me?